fact, he's also my friend. So without further
Thank
ado,
you.
Denzel Lewis.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you, Denzel.
Thank you for everybody for coming. For some of you who don't recognize me, I am Denzel Lewis. Normally you don't see me in a suit and tie, but this is a new experience for me. It's something that I've always wanted to do, and I've decided to do it at this time. But I'd like to first start off by thanking Bill Treadway and the Republican Party for the support during this campaign. My reasons for running are many. I feel that my training and experience should be appealing to the voter. The fact that I've worked with law enforcement agencies from Bakersfield, California to New York means that I've been able to witness first-hand insight to a diverse array of what works in law enforcement and what doesn't. I have additionally worked directly with the federal agencies, as Mr. Treadway's mentioned, and I know how important teamwork is in this field. I intend to run a campaign based on the issues and not based on my opponents, whoever he or she may be. It is important to know that I consider the current registered candidates friends. As many of you know, Jeff Charter and I have been childhood friends. We grew up together, went to high school together, went to junior high together, grew up in the same neighborhood. We were sworn on the Terrell Police Department on the same day. Tim Gossett and I have known each other for almost 25 years, and we've worked several cases together. I've known Greg Ewing since he was a jail officer at the jail, and as many of you know, Karen Cross and I currently work together at the Drug Task Force. I feel that the voters of Vigo County will have a very difficult decision to make in the coming months, as there are so many skilled individuals running for this office. I would ask the voters to make their decision based on who they would view as the best sheriff for this county. I would like to see the voters take the time to look at each candidate's training and experience along with the candidate's ideas for the future of the Vigo County Sheriff's Department. I feel the issues, again, are many, starting with a remedy to our jail overcrowding. Currently, our judges are forced to release accused criminals back onto our streets before the cases have even been resolved. All too often, these individuals are left back out to go reoffend. Last year, the Sheriff's Department was forced to ask the County Council for additional dollars for operating costs for budget overruns. Let's face it, the jail is basically it's $1 million money pit. The understaffed and under-equipped deputies. The deputies are often on the scene of criminal activity by themselves several minutes before their backup can arrive, and while on the scene with escalating violence, I don't feel that they're fully equipped to protect themselves from an attack. Another issue that must be addressed is the hiring practice currently in place for correctional officers. In the past, several correctional officers have been fired or arrested for misconduct. Probably one of the scariest issues out there, and that I intend to address, if elected immediately, will be the fact that we have so many unsolved homicides in this county. Imagine for just one moment losing a loved one and no one being held responsible. It's a horrific fact that far too many people in this county have had to endure. The issues I have mentioned should in no way be interpreted as criticism to the current administration handling of those issues. Several of these issues cannot be solved overnight. There will have to be short-term and long-term planning. However, I feel that my position on resolving these issues will bring about a safer workplace and a safer community for all of us. Over the next several months, I will be addressing these issues more in depth. As a candidate, I would ask the voters of Vigo County to become educated on these issues. If you see me out in public and have a question, feel free to approach me. I'm a candidate, and you deserve to know my stance on each issue. I look forward to meeting many of you in the future. Thank you.
Denzel, you listed a couple things that you saw as problems in
Yes.
the jail. How do you propose to fix some of those, especially jail overcrowding and the amount of money that's been sunk into the jail?
And that's an excellent question. And I think that what we're going to have to do is sit down and draw up a short-term plan of what we want to do immediately, of what I would do immediately upon taking office, and we'll have to draw a long-term plan. And a lot of that has to do with breaking down the budget and looking at the budget and what can we do and what can't we do. Right now, I believe that expanding community corrections is one way to do that. Not every single individual probably has to be incarcerated, but if they could be on in-home detention or some other form of community corrections, we could start out by expanding community corrections first. I think the long term, we have got to look at the possibility of a much, much larger jail.
You have
I think that as far as training and experience, I think all the candidates are similar. I think that to define what makes an individual better than the other candidates is to actually look at his ideas on how to solve the problems and who's addressing the issues. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to focus on the issues, we're going to address each issue, and our way to resolve that issue.
Do you have anything in your past, obviously come politics, everyone in the community is going to try and find out something bad about you. Is there anything that you want to get out now before it comes out later?
No. Is there anything you can tell me? No, I've got nothing that I can think of.
What made you first decide that you wanted to run for sheriff? Why now?
I think that my time in law enforcement, I've been in it for 23 years, and I've seen some of the things that have happened, and I've seen some of the things that I would like to change. So I thought, rather than sit around and talk about it, why don't I try to change it?
Republican Party, that's kind of sketchy here in Vigo County to be on that ticket. That's primarily a Democratic now. Obviously, you've got a leeway here with the mayor being in the prosecutor. How do you think being a Republican versus a Democrat will play out here in the election?
That's an excellent question. If you didn't hear, he said he wants to know how the Democrat or Republican will be in the election. But, the truth is, I think our community has, and what I've seen in the last few elections is I've seen our community vote on who they felt was the best candidate, and not necessarily along party lines, which are, as we know, it's a heavy Democratic community. But again, I think the voters are beginning to educate themselves on the candidate themselves, and in doing so, they are picking the candidates who are doing a very good job for our community, whether Republican or Democrat. All right, any more questions? Well, thank you all for showing up. I really appreciate it, and hopefully I'll be seeing